to another edition of Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. And here's your host, Russ McClellan.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. I really do appreciate everybody tuning in. We are going to do this show a couple more times, and then we're going to be launching a video podcast. I'm not sure what we're going to call it. Something radical, I'm sure, because wow, are we in a wild time in real estate. And it just means a lot to me that the people that have followed the show for 4 years, well over 100 episodes, I get people that reach out all the time, and hopefully you found some value or some entertainment at the very least. I just want to say thank you, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity to be talking on the radio, and I'm excited about launching the video podcast. Along with a lot of my agents at Keller Williams, I think we're going to be seeing a storytelling environment about what really goes on in real estate. I think right now there's a lot of people that are confused, which is normal, right? If you've been in the business in the last decade, or if that's all you've ever done is the last 7 to 10 years, all you've really known is 2.5-3% interest rates. Prices were quite a bit lower than they are right now. And so there's a shift. It's not unusual for the economy. It's not unusual for the real estate industry, but it's usually 7 to 10 years. We've gone well beyond that. So now here we are. We are in a recession. That means something different to, depending on who you are. But it's not a fear-based situation if you know how to look at what's really happening around you. So I'm excited about bringing lots of people into the video podcasting world from our office in Wenatchee, our headquarters at Keller Williams, what we lovingly call with our vernacular a market center. And in that market center, I have a team leader named Loren Meloy.
Heyo.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You'll hear me cough or bite on my cough drop, so please forgive me. I'm asking for your grace and forgiveness to be part of your business plan, just like it's part of mine. But
I'm feeling good.
You're good. So you're going to run the show today. We've been all over. I've been to, I was in, where was I? Phoenix for a conference with 1,000 people. I was in Texas with about 900 OPs. First time that's ever happened. OP is operating partner of Keller Williams, right, with Gary Keller. Then I was in Portland with my man, Loren Meloy. So no wonder I'm sick.
Yeah, you've been running 100 miles an hour.
Airplanes are a lot like, when you have second graders go to school for the first time, or first graders, and they bring all that good stuff home, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not COVID. So I do get a lot of dirty looks, but I promise it's not COVID.
Oh, this has been the worst era in history to have a cough, period.
Yeah. You're like the pitchforks and, the noose. Get you out and hear you cough, especially in some parts of the world. Texas wasn't so bad. I don't think they believe in COVID down there. Anyway, so Loren, we've been doing a lot of stuff. We've been, learning based. This is my 32nd year or so, and man, I'm just absorbing. And I love this Keller Williams company because it's the largest real estate company on planet Earth with a couple 100,000 agents or so, 57 countries. But more importantly, man, they're proactive in just giving us data, giving us info, like insight on what is really happening. And then more importantly, mindset first, skill set second. How do we navigate a shift to turn it into an opportunity for people? Because I'm pretty sure people still buy and sell houses in any market.
Absolutely.
Right. And we're busy. We're doing like 60, 70 deals a month still. But in large part, that's because we have a lot of people leaning into training, leaning into becoming learning based. And instead of running and hiding, putting their head in the ground and using the ostrich method, that doesn't work too well, just FYI. They're doing the other, and that is, hey, okay, what I've always done isn't going to always work, and I'm not going to get what I've always gotten. So what do we do?
Yep, it's being driven by curiosity.
You're our team leader. You've been our team leader a few months now. You've been in real estate longer than that. But what is your take on this whole world of real estate these days?
There's a lot of, besides the ostrich model, putting your head in the sand, I think the only other option is trying to get ahead of a shift, right? You can't guarantee you're going to do that. It's going to be a lot of guesswork, but being driven by curiosity, finding out what's next, because we're not the only ones, right? Sometimes I think real estate agents might feel like we're the only ones affected by this, but it's lenders, right? It's all the ancillary services, title and escrow. They're all having to get ahead of it too and get creative. And especially on the lending side, we're going to be looking out for non-QM or qualified mortgages, right? We're going to be looking for things that can get people into homes because people don't stop having life events that cause them to move, cause them to sell or buy. And investors right now, if they've got the capital for it or they've got the will for it, this is the best time. As prices start to settle back down, we got off of that crazy unsustainable drive up and to the right in terms of home prices and the rate at which they were climbing. Gosh, if you are in a place to invest or you have any curiosity about investing at all, this is the time to get in and do it. And agents just need to be on the lookout for those people.
Yeah, I think sometimes they'll say, "Hey, Russ? Is this a good time to buy?" And that seems like a logical question, right? But maybe it's the wrong question. Here's the thing. A lot of people believe the real estate market goes up and down, up and down, up and down, cyclical environment, but it's a horizontal graph. And the fact is it's not. It's an up to the right graph through appreciation over the long term. So if somebody said, "Hey, I'm going to move to Wenatchee for 90 days, should I buy a house?" No. Now is not a good time to buy. But if you say, "Hey, I'm going to stay there for 7 to 10 years," heck yes. Now is the time to buy. You marry the house, you date the rate.
That's right. Been hearing that all the time, and it's true.
Yeah, that means, the house is where you curl up at night. Jason Abrams likes to say, who's a big leader, guru in Keller Williams, you don't take your stocks and bond portfolio at home at night and cuddle up with it. But you do with a house. A house is an emotional purchase. And over the long term, on average, you get about 4% appreciation consistently over the long term. Does that go up and down inside of that? Yes. So you got to ask yourself, what is your motivation to buy a house? Trying to time the market is tough. It's like catching a fly with toothpicks.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Or chopsticks if you want to make it a little easier, but still hard. So you got to think about long-term investing. Day trading real estate has never been a good idea. Heck, a lot of people did it until they went broke in 2008. I was one of them. It was fun. I was flipping houses like a madman. But guess what? There's a payoff pitch. So one of the things we like to do is counsel people. You said it, we like to bring in ancillary services and expert advisors into our team. And I often say this, you probably heard me say it many times, we quarterback the transaction as a real estate broker. We are a fiduciary, a trustworthy confidant, expert advisor that's hyper-local focused on what we do and where we do it. We're in your corner. To navigate that world without that, it's risky, to say the least. So what are you hearing out there? One of your roles is to help grow our firm and manage the top 20% of our company. What are you hearing? What are people saying right now?
Yeah, I think on the surface level, people talk about the buyer pool shrinking, people pulling back, people saying, "Oh, I'm going to wait till X amount of date." And some people, they say, "Oh, I'm just going to wait till the spring." And we heard that all the time. That's nothing new to this market. But we've got some people that have just been so discouraged, right? And that is, I think, where it's so important for agents to dig deep, get in there with their lending partners, explore new lending partners. That's the other thing, is to expect lending partners that are experts, that are pushing the boundaries, that are finding new ways to qualify their buyers. And we can talk about all those exotic products, right? Talk about 40-year mortgages coming in and all of the seller financing that we can do. And that's where training on our part, because that doesn't involve a lender at all. But digging into those options to encourage people that are thinking about pulling out entirely. They've been so discouraged. They waited, right? There's so many buyers who were just like, "Oh, now's not the time." They were sitting there in the spring of this year, right? But it was so competitive and they got discouraged. They decided they're not going to do it. And they get back into it in the fall because they heard that it's not as competitive anymore, right? Seems like a good time to go out there and buy. But they met with their lender. They found out their buying power had been cut in half.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times that just means your expectations of what you're going to buy needs to be adjusted.
Yeah.
It's okay to buy it with Formica.
Yes.
You can always replace it with, imported Italian marble later. Sometimes you just have to change your expectations around life, right? We had a good run. People got spoiled. Hell, we got paid to stay home for 2 years.
Yeah.
That was a good gig. So it's just a matter of getting realistic, right? Like, do you want to pay rent? Because here's the problem with paying rent. It's 100% interest.
That's right. That's the other thing. Yeah.
That means you get the use of it for 30 days. You get no equity ever in the long run or short run, and some people have been in rentals for decades. So there's never a bad time to start thinking about buying a house or investing in real estate. I think Warren Buffett had a great quote. He said, it's really simple to get wealthy over the long term in America. The home of the free, land of the brave. Buy when everybody else is selling, sell when everybody else is buying. That's not a bad idea. So guess what's happening? I like to say, hey, look, talent and wisdom and education and work ethic and honesty and integrity are back in the game. These are good things. And guess what? They call it insight. Like, I believe everybody has insight into what they're good at. I don't think it's some mystery. I think the business that we do of real estate is pretty simple, and we'll dive into that in the next segment, I think. It's not an easy game because we've developed habits, work ethic habits, intensity, open-mindedness. Are you learning based? Or are you losing so slowly you still think you're winning? Are you changing anything? So I'd like to ask everybody in every business, what are you doing now that is different than you did for the last 5 years? If you're just status quo, Katie, bar the door, something might be coming, like a storm. And I've lived it. You know, I have PTSD about it. 2008 sucked. But we don't have to be there. There's hope, and there's ways around it. So when we come right back, we'll talk about real estate from a simplistic perspective, not an easy perspective.
Keller Williams, you make dreams come true. Oh, sweet home. Oh, sweet home.
Hey, this is Russ McClellan with Keller Williams. I want to talk to you about something. Do you feel stuck? Do you feel the financial pressures of the COVID virus? That was fun, wasn't it? I'll tell you what, real estate can be a game changer for you, and I'm here to help you. If you want to give me a call at 509-888-0038, I want to talk about your life and getting unstuck. We are growing rapidly. We're the fastest growing real estate company in all of North Central Washington. Give us a call. I want to help you. 509-888-0038.
With the new Keller Williams School of Real Estate, you can now get your license for free. Access tools, tips, and personalized coaching with Keller Williams' award-winning training programs, and start off your career in real estate the right way. K-Score is 100% online and entirely free to students, with pre-licensing curriculum geared toward placing aspiring agents on a direct path to licensure and profitability. With K-Score, we're not just unlocking the door, we're opening every door to anyone that's ever dreamed of starting their career in real estate. We're making a difference for you so that you can make a difference for others. Now available for all individuals in Washington. Your future awaits. Enroll today.
We're excited. We got a lot of people signing up, so give us a call, 509-888-0038, or simply email us at joinus@kwncw.com. Let's go from being stuck to unstuck.
You're tuned to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and friends. Now back to Russ.
Welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Loren Meloy, my team leader.
Hey, everybody.
We're having a good time at Keller Williams. We're pushing 90 real estate brokers and climbing. We have a free school called K-Score. We have another little entry course called K-Prep that kind of gives you an idea of what's going to happen. We talked about real estate, Loren, being simple, and I thought I'd share why I say that. Well, first of all, 90 hours, right? Not 7-8 years, not a college degree, not 2 years. Why is that? Why is it only 90 hours? You know, that's one of those questions that when I got in the real estate business in 1989, it was 30 hours. So it's 3 times.
Yeah.
Think about that. What an amazing business. I believe people like me that started when they were 19 are unemployable. I just think that if I had to go, I mean, like I could probably do something else, but nothing with the thrill of real estate, where I get to wake up and help people every day. That's commission-based business. So really, I mean, I was taking a step back. What does it really take to be a real estate broker? Well, we know for one that they need our service, right? They have to need what you do. And I'm pretty sure most people, rent or buy. There are some that can't do both, and that's tragic, and we want to help them as well, because that's an epidemic in our country right now. But there's a lot of people that have houses. A lot of people. I was talking to a friend of mine who's getting his license, who's been in the education system for 30 years. And I said, isn't it weird that this is one thing, this roof over your head, that every kid goes to college and one way or another has a roof over their head, whether it's a dormitory or whether it's an apartment. But how many classes are about that in school?
None. Not really. I mean, maybe in economics class they might talk about housing a little bit, but
yeah.
No.
Anybody go over any leases with these kids before they send them out to the wolves?
No.
Right. So in real estate, pretty much everybody needs our service. Then it's more about, okay, well, how well do you perform? Like, do they need your service? And then, okay, well, how well do I do at that? Well, loving on people is pretty innate, right?
You would hope so.
For most of us. What I'm trying to do, Loren, is break it down. Like, people's limiting beliefs get in the way often. And, one of them is, well, I'm not a salesman.
Yes.
That's a myth, because guess what? Every day we wake up, every conversation you have is selling to some degree. I'm selling you why I think this, and you're selling me why you think that. Sometimes we agree on the fact that we are selling each other, and we mutually agree, and sometimes we have to agree to disagree. But all day long, every day, where do you want to have lunch, Loren?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What do you want to do?
Yeah. So when you look at it like, I'm not a salesman, what does that word even mean? We're doing it every day, all day, referring people to, I bought a great, set of golf clubs at that store. They had a great thing that helped me with my swing. So you should go do that, Loren.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you do it all day. You just don't get paid for it.
You read that book, To Sell is Human?
I have not.
By Daniel Pink. It's pretty good, and
sure.
it pretty much breaks that down, how sales are in our everyday lives.
Right. So in real estate, it's funny because it's not like we're selling widgets that you don't need. It's not like we're on a 24-hour cable network selling you pots and pans that you don't need for $39.99 at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's something that we all need. So you're providing a service that you need. You work pretty hard at loving on people, and that's innate. Insight is I believe it's all in us. We just have to unlock it, right? And then the reality is, okay, well, how difficult are you to replace? Now, this is what's interesting, because often real estate agents, especially if they've been at it for a while, forget that it's about relationships.
Yeah.
And trust. That's what the word fiduciary simplistically means. Are you a fiduciary for someone? And if you become trustworthy and that relationship develops based on love, affection, trust, insight, your work ethic, you're going to be hard to replace, right? It's just like if you bought a car from the same person year after, every time you go buy a car, you trust someone, you had a good experience. The weird thing is that people don't realize how many people they touch.
Yeah.
That they already know, that they already have relationships with. Now, one of my missions, you hear me talk about this a lot, is I believe every single person should have a real estate license that works in the public, because of the simple fact that A, it's a free school, B, we can show you how to write the contracts and actually write the contracts for you, or all you have to do is, if you're in a day job and you run across somebody that wants to buy or sell or invest in real estate, you say, hey, I'm a licensed real estate broker. I do it for the referral business because I want you trust me, and I want to show you introduce you to someone that I trust so you can have a good experience. And for that, they compensate me 25% of the commission.
Absolutely. And the schooling and everything pays for itself on the first referral, most likely, if it's a residential referral. Yeah.
In a time where it's tough to make money, it's, the dollar doesn't go as far. And I hear it, I see it. You go to the grocery store, what used to cost you $200, now it's $350. Fill up your tank, used to cost $50, now it's $100. Okay, well, your dollar's not going as far. That's called inflation, right? Well, I suggest one thing is you can sell homes, or you can just refer people that you know to people that do. And that's one of the reasons we offer a free real estate school. I want to help people make extra money. And guess what? There's a lot of people working in our firms that I love, and I love them because they had a job, full-time job they didn't really care for, raising kids alone. They started with us part-time, many of them. I can visualize many of them. And they were able to make a switch from what they didn't want to do every day to support their 3 children, single mom, et cetera, to a full-time professional real estate broker in a year or less.
Yeah.
That's dreams come true, man. That's what we're trying to do, is get people to think big so they can go out and do great things to fund a life that is the life they deserve and the life that they want. That's the whole idea.
That's the vision.
Right. So you don't have to know everything day one. All you have to do is just realize that you have a lot of relationships in your life that wouldn't you feel better about helping them find somebody that knows what they're doing and that you can trust by referring them? So bang. That's the simple part, right? Now, inside of that, is there a lot to do? Yes, but what I'm worried about is the limiting belief in people. I mean, let's talk about that. What would you think are some of the limiting beliefs that you've heard why you can't be successful at real estate?
Well, it really depends. There's some folks that get into the schooling of it and they think it's just forms, contracts, which are important, and they think, oh, that's easy. I got that down pat, but I don't know about talking to people. I get shy, or I just don't know about sales, right? And then you've got other folks that sales comes naturally to them, right? But maybe they've got the squirrel brain, maybe they've got, who knows what they've got going on, but they just feel like details are not for them, right? There's ways around both of those things, right? Those limiting beliefs don't have to limit you, right? You can defeat them. There are ways to get into sales that work for just about every personality type. And there are ways to wrangle all those details that, if you're good at the sales, you're going to have the capital to kind of take care of the details, right? There's all sorts of ways to scale your business and get into this in a way that makes sense for people. And that's what's lovely about real estate. It's been around long enough. People have figured out the systems and models that are needed to make it work for just about anyone. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I think sometimes it even gets these limiting beliefs I hear, like, I don't have the right wardrobe.
Oh.
I don't have the right car. They stem from an insecurity, right, which is natural in all of us.
But I can introduce you to agents that are on the path to making 6 figures this year who don't give a hoot about their wardrobe or their vehicle.
Yeah, I wear T-shirts and drove a $4,000 Toyota Matrix, lovingly called the Blue Ferrari, for 3-4 years.
Oh, yeah.
Just recently gave it to my kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's mindset over skill set. We just simply don't think about breaking through the ceiling of achievement enough as people, right? I think being learning-based is an exciting thing to do. But in real estate, what's fun is it's not about punching a clock. It's not about selling something that you don't want or deserve or need. It's about helping people, live out their dreams. Well, that's why I think I'm unemployable, because I just can't think of something else that allows me to wake up every morning and try to help real estate brokers live a better life, help fund a better life for themselves, the life they want and life they deserve, using real estate as the vehicle to do it. How many times a day do I say that? Like, this is why we're here. This is why we have 90 people. I want to help people, and I'm hiring people like you that are in alignment with this focus and this goal to help people assassinate their limiting beliefs. I'll say something bold. I think in a shift that people are brand new, a better chance of making a lot of money, making that 6 figures, in some cases more than an experienced agent.
Yes.
You know why? Because in the markets shift, right? And we build habits, and we build ego, and we buy nice cars, and we buy nice houses. And then one day we wake up and we go, wait a minute, everybody I know can't buy a house today because rates have doubled and the price has gone up $200,000. So what are you doing every day differently in your business today than you were? Well, it's hard for some people to admit that I have to blow up my business that used to be what funded my life so I can get a different business model that funds my next life, called a recessionary shift. And if you do that and you come in new and you don't have those bad habits, it's easier to make good ones. So don't think you can't do it just because you don't have experience. This is the perfect time to get into real estate. We'll be right back for our third segment with Loren Meloy and myself, Russ McClellan with Keller Williams.
Keller Williams, you make dreams come true. Home sweet home.
Hey, this is Russ McClellan with Keller Williams. Thanks for tuning in to our radio show. I want everybody to know something. We offer a free real estate school, K-Score. We have a brand new team leader in Loren Meloy. If you're interested in changing your life, if you don't have enough money, if you need extra money for those AU basketball shoes, if you want a career that actually gives you your time back, believe it or not everybody works 100 hours a week in real estate. Trust me. At the end of the day, Keller Williams provides the systems, tools, training, and technology you need to flourish. Give us a call at 509-888-0038. You can call me personally at 509-470-2416 or email our staff and Kelly Hain, my sister and our Market Center Administrator, at joinus@kw.com for more information on our free real estate school. Make it a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, this is Russ McClellan. We started our real estate company, Keller Williams Realty, North Central Washington, in the spring of 2018. We've grown to be the largest real estate company in North Central Washington, and there's a reason for that. We attract people that want to keep the vast majority of the money they earn because they deserve it. We attract people that know that Keller Williams is the most advanced education and training real estate company and the largest real estate franchise system on the planet. We're in approximately 55 countries with approximately 170,000 agents with the most advanced technology in a world that is driven by the digital age that there is in real estate. We also, if that's not enough, profit share at 49% above a predictable expense line monthly. If you're interested in learning more about Keller Williams Realty NCW, give us a call today at 509-888-0038 and let's talk real estate. Have a great day.
You're listening to Keller Williams Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and friends. Now back to the show.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan. Loren Meloy, team leader, Keller Williams. Loren?
Yes, sir.
Am I jacked up about what's happening in life or what?
You are.
I love it.
You're on fire.
I'm on fire, man. Hey, get busy dying, get busy living, right? I'm telling you, my dad used to say two things. It's hard to go forward when you're standing still, and you'll never have arrows in your ass if you're not in the lead. It's very true. You know what? But when you focus on your people, you're always going to have armchair quarterbacks, man. When you're doing anything and you're getting out of the herd.
Oh, yeah. Everybody thinks they know.
Yeah. And a lot of times they're coming from your family, trying to protect you. So they're like, don't follow your dreams, Loren. Stay in that crab pot. Don't follow your dreams. I don't want you to get hurt. We live in a beautiful country because we can follow our dreams. I also love working with Keller Williams because there's just so many smart people that are way smarter than I am. I just rip off and duplicate most of the time. That's one of the things we encourage people. And have you ever met anybody in Keller Williams not willing to help you? From any office in the nation? Or
No,
that
was one thing I was blown away by in Portland this week when we went. People were sharing ideas, and if something caught my attention, I was like, "Oh man, can you forward that to me? Can you share that Canva template? Can you share that slide deck?" They're just giving it away, man, and it's amazing.
Yeah. So let's talk about the changes in the philosophy about real estate and some of the things that people have available to them now at Keller Williams that are fairly new.
Changes, yeah. Keller Williams has always been famous, I think, for freedom and flexibility. Those are the other F words of real estate, right? Besides follow-up. Mm-hmm. Our brokerage has the full spectrum now, right? I think we've got an independent model for, fiercely independent agents that are out there high performing. They want to do their own thing, and we're here for guidance and legal liability and a few other things. But we've also got the interdependent model with a lot of education services and we're here for those agents as well. And we're starting to provide more a la carte services for those interdependent agents that want to remain solo, that want to, they just need leads, right? So we've got lead aggregation and lead generation coming their way. But now we're starting to roll out this dependent model. So it's the full spectrum from independent to interdependent to dependent. And the dependent model, we're calling it teamerage, right? And it is a market center team. Yep.
Yeah. And, some of the differences are, people will say, hey, what's the split? Okay. That's like a seller saying, what's your commission? So like with a seller, I'll say, if I made you $1 million and your home was worth $500,000, would you pay me 30%? Because you're making like 500 or 300 or 400 grand more than you would have.
Yeah.
Like, so the real question is from a seller, what are you going to do for me? How are you going to sell my home? How are you going to keep me out of trouble? How fast are you going to sell my home? And can you sell it for the most amount of money? Now, depending on what those answers are, what that value proposition is, that might develop into what my rate is worth, right? So there's some people that love to work with people, and they really cannot stand data entry.
Yeah.
They really do not want to track the escrow personally through title and appraisal and inspection and lending and blah, blah. They really don't like that. They would rather pay somebody to do that. So what Keller Williams has done is we've created a system. It's a systems and models company. It's a training and education company. Now it's a technology company, all wrapped up into one. So depending on what services you use, you pay for what you use. But you have the ability to shift in and out of what you want. It's not a one-size-fits-all. So I know a lot of people on teams. You know, there was a team in Keller Williams, Ben Kinney, he started a company called Place, $1 billion valuation. Goldman Sachs dropped $100 million. Well, Place comes in and provides a very, very high level, and it's 50-50 for everybody. It's in perpetuity, including the brokerages that are doing it. Well, we kind of done that. That's traditional model where, hey, I'm going to provide you assistance. I'm going to provide you lead generation, lead generation, lead generation, lead generation, lead generation, lead generation.
Yeah. More
lead generation.
Lead generation?
Guess what's important these days? Let me tell you a story. 2020, the average home price was what, $325,000 or so in Wenatchee? Mm-hmm. Average rate was 2.9%. Everybody knew that made $20, $25 an hour was a buyer. Fast forward to 2022, the average price is pushing $500,000, and the rate is now 7.
Yeah.
Not everybody that you know makes $20, $25 an hour can buy a house by themselves. So guess what? If that was your entire business, we're going to show you how to get more leads. You have to work hard. It is not an easy business, but you're helping people every day. And being able to have a team that's following the model that's been proven by the giants that have walked before us in Keller Williams, inside the team is with complete transparency so other teams can learn from it that are already existing. Or if you're one of those agents that is inspired to open your own team and launch your own program, we'll let you brand yourself. This is about a company for agents by agents. Yeah. So that's what I love. And just to be clear, that a la carte menu, let's say you want that 70-30 split or 80-20 split depending, and you cap out at 17 grand. So that 20% or 30% gets the company 17 grand. You get 100% from that moment forward. That's great. That means you're doing your own lead gen. You know, we're showing you how, but you're implementing it. You're doing the work. We're not just handing you that. But a lot of people love to be handed leads.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes people say, hey, well, I want to lean into the lead gen platform or platforms, because we're going to have 3 of them aggressively in 2023. I mean, aggressively. Well, I'll pay a referral for that, just like if a Seattle-based agent sent you a lead. Perfect. Now, the only difference is the market center's investing thousands and thousands of dollars a month.
Exactly, Russ. That's what's nice about this is that, you know, so many people could say, oh, well, I could probably figure out how to do that on my own and keep my commission. Well, yeah, with thousands and thousands and thousands of capital a month, right? So if you've got that, do it, right? And we're here to support you in whatever way we can. You know, people have got to hang their license somewhere. And I think that, you know, that's a beautiful thing if you can pull that off. But for so many agents, it's a nice idea. And I think that's probably one of the biggest problems for agents that did well in that little blip that we had there where interest rates were bottomed out and all that, is that, you know, they built up some business and they got a lot of ideas. It's like, it'd be nice to try this. Oh, but man, it'd be nice if I just had my leads just kind of trickling in at a pace I could handle them. You know, it'd be nice if we had all that set up. But all of that gets really expensive over time, right?
Yeah, and so people don't like doing what they don't like doing. Exactly.
And so that's where, you know, the a la carte services come in. And then if you want it all packaged up neatly and you want to be part of a, what do you call it, SEAL Team 6, real estate,
Special Forces team,
Special Forces team that has access to the full smorgasbord of, is that a good word for it? Smorgasbord of a la carte services.
I love it.
You know, that's where that teamerage team comes in. And for people who are wondering, that's a combination of the word team and the word brokerage. Right? It's a portmanteau. Yeah, it's a big fancy word, but that's that 50-50 split, and it's
but you're an assassin at that point. You're like, do we have any assets in Wenatchee? Yes, we do. Boom, go handle it. Special forces, go do it, and then come back and get another one. Then go do it. Come back and get another one. Go do it. Do what you love to do. Customize your life around what you enjoy so that you have some fun.
Yes.
This is the thing. It's some people, that's why we do a specialized DISC assessment or personality assessment called KPA with our agents and our staff, because we're trying to figure out what is the best way to communicate with you. What do you like and not like? And then we try to help unlock that for you. Because if you're having fun every day, you're going to go do it. If you hate doing paperwork, unfortunately, we're in a litigious society, and it's part of the game.
Yep.
I wish we could just do my dad's philosophy and shake your hand. If you don't do what I say, I take you behind the woodshed. That was 1952. I tried to get away with it in the 80s. Worked out for a while. But now it's not. Now you have to call these things called lawyers.
Yep.
And they love to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They make a lot of money. Litigious lawyers make a lot of, not that every lawyer is a bad lawyer. I've got really good ones, but people, right? So if you don't like to do some of these activities, going out and door knocking, making your calls every day, if you don't like to talk to the inspector to make sure they show up on time, well, that's what teams are all about. Let's combine our strengths to provide a better service for the people that we care about, our clients, by working together to achieve something, right? Just like a football team. Not everybody's Tom Brady. Not everybody's the quarterback. There are some guys in the NFL that are 400 pounds, and they run as fast as a quarterback, at least faster than I did, which is weird. 400 pounds running 4 flat 40s or whatever they're doing.
A lot of inertia.
But they're probably linemen.
Yeah.
Right? So there's different positions, and that's kind of what we do in a team. We provide different positions from running backs to wide receivers, to quarterbacks to linemen, offense, defense, so you can excel at the position that you like versus, I love this part of the business, but God, I hated lead generating. It sucks. Or gosh, putting in data in a little computer, that's not my jam. I want to be outside. I want to be outside shaking hands with farmers. I want to go do luxury. I want to do land. I want to do commercial. Guess what? At Keller Williams, we teach you how to do these things. So that's the idea of a model inside of a market center that's running the playbook that has been proven by thousands and thousands and thousands of people. That's why a lot of people say in real estate, success is boring. Because once you figure out what works, it's really not rocket science. It's really not aerospace engineering or biology. Everybody can do this job. Just a matter of finding what works for you. And that's what we try to do, right, man?
Yeah.
So I'm pumped. I love change. Talent, wisdom, work ethic, they're back in the game. A lot better than that market where we had one listing and 500 people made an offer on it in one day.
We're just a bunch of order takers.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I love helping people win. When we come right back, we're going to be talking to one of those people that helps us win, one of those wide receivers, our ancillary businesses, Michael Maher and PrimeLending, in just a couple minutes. Thanks for coming in, man.
Keller Williams, you make dreams come true. Whoa, sweet home.
With the new Keller Williams School of Real Estate, you can now get your license for free. Access tools, tips, and personalized coaching with Keller Williams award-winning training programs, and start off your career in real estate the right way. K-Score is 100% online and entirely free to students, with pre-licensing curriculum geared toward placing aspiring agents on a direct path to licensure and profitability. With K-Score, we're not just unlocking the door, we're opening every door to anyone that's ever dreamed of starting their career in real estate. We're making a difference for you so that you can make a difference for others. Now available for all individuals in Washington. Your future awaits. Enroll today.
We're excited. We got a lot of people signing up, so give us a call, 509-888-0038, or simply email us at joinus@kwncw.com. Let's go from being stuck to unstuck. Hi, this is Russ McClellan, operating partner with Keller Williams Realty and the host of this show, Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. I want to take just a minute to say a heartfelt thank you for your support and tuning into our show each and every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. I personally have made some amazing friendships as a direct result of this radio show, and I couldn't be more grateful. As always, throw the phone in the drawer, be present, spend some time with your friends and loved ones, and make it a fantastic Saturday. Thanks again for your amazing support of Home Sweet Home with Russ, McClellan, and friends.
You're enjoying the Real Estate Show, Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. Here's more with Russ.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan. As always, I have Michael Maher with the PrimeLending. Hi, Michael.
Hey Russ, how's it going? Excited to talk to everybody about the shifting market we're in.
Yeah, I like that. The PrimeLending. It's like the Ohio State or something.
Exactly.
No, and the reason is that we do business together, Michael, and I'll do some third-party endorsing of you right now, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
What I love is that A, you're confidential. B, you're not about instant gratification, although you can write loans today. You're about also developing a plan for people, and you can have those conversations. And those are free, and they're confidential. Because so often what we hear, and the reason I love working with you and Sharon and your entire team, is that you stay abreast of products in the financial world that maybe 3 years ago weren't even a thing, or weren't something that anybody would use when rates were 3% or under. Well, now they're not. Now they're 7 and climbing. So if you're not familiar, if you're working with a lender that is not familiar with the multitude of options and the ability to do some very creative lending, then you're probably with the wrong lender. And I can tell you from experience, I have a finance degree and 30 plus years in real estate. Michael and Sharon at PrimeLending are some of the best at keeping ahead of the game and not chase the game, meaning they're working on stuff before they even need it. So anyway, kudos to you, my friend. And
I appreciate that.
Maybe we can talk about what you are doing in the shift, and what does that mean to your world?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, I kind of want to just speak to the buyers out there. This has something to do with the sellers as well, but the number one thing right now in this shift is buyers have opportunity. Yes, interest rates have doubled in a matter of just a few months, it seems, six to 8 months. And while on face value, that doesn't look great and it does impact payments, that opens up opportunity because now not as many people are buying, homes are sitting around longer. And the opportunity that's really amongst any buyers out there, and I would encourage you to speak to the lender that you're working with. If you're not working with someone or you want a second opinion, absolutely reach out to us. And your agent as well. When you're making an offer, let's say you're making an offer on a home that's been on the market for 15, 20, 30 days. The majority of people, because it's just been programmed into us for the longest time, is get the lowest price. Get the lowest price, and that equals the best deal. Where if I were to tell you, no, actually, if you offer the higher price or the price they're asking for, and you get seller credits back, you'll end up paying less out of pocket and you'll end up with a lower payment. And people go, what the heck are you talking about, Michael? That doesn't make any sense. Lower price is always better. No, that's not the case. And I'm still talking to people to this day that think lower price equals better. And if your goal is to turn around and maybe sell the home in a year, couple years, then yes, by all means, the lower price might end up netting you a better deal in the future. But if you're like the majority of people that are wanting to buy a home to live in for an extended period of time, anywhere from 5 to 10 years, getting the lowest price is not going to be the best deal. So how do we do that? That means you ask the seller for closing costs, and that can range on what you're allowed to ask, anywhere from 3 to 6%. But what that allows you to do is not only save on the upfront closing costs, like your title, your escrow, your appraisal, your credit report, all that kind of stuff, but it allows you to take some advantage of some creative programs like permanent interest rate buydowns or temporary interest rate buydowns that really net you a lower payment and, like I said, less out of pocket once you're at the closing table.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's a lot of ways to do real estate finance. And working together is also important. So one of the things that we counsel our buyers on a lot is they'll come to us with a lender, and I'm cool with whatever gets the job done. But quite often, the lender's not creative and the lender's not working directly with us. And I encourage all lenders to do what you do, Michael, and that is work together to communicate about the goals of our client before we write the offer, so we can structure these buy downs inside of the contract. We can structure what loan exactly we're going to get. And one thing that hasn't come up a lot, but I think it will, is that I believe almost all governmental loans are assumable. Well, as the prices are shifting downward a little bit more than they have for sure, maybe somebody bought a house 2 years ago at 3% and there's not a lot of equity. Well, maybe it's the best way to do is a formal assumption. And I think those are going to be more and more people looking into that. Again, it requires homework on your end. It requires to be open-minded and maybe fill out a few more forms that maybe is not as easy as it used to be, just like it wasn't as easy for the buyer or the buyer's agent not that long ago. Well, if we work together, there's still a lot of ways to skin that cat and get you into that house. And as always, remember that if you're renting, it's not always a bad thing, but it's 100% interest. You're just getting the use of it for 30 days. Now, would somebody say to me, should I buy a home in this market? Well, not if you're going to move in 90 days, like you said. But if you're planning on staying in it for 10 years, then absolutely. Absolutely, because on average, it goes up and to the right through appreciation. It goes up and down. It's not a straight line. But over the years, it's about average. The average is about 4% over the last 100 years or so. So it's always a good time to be thinking about it. And as you said, what we're seeing is sellers are becoming more and more flexible. That gives us some room to work. So what would you rather have? A market like 2 years ago that you had to compete with 50 offers in 5 minutes? Or now one that a seller is being more flexible? So at the end of the day, it's not, if you have education and you have a good team, I think there's still some tremendous opportunities. Warren Buffett said it best: buy when everybody else is selling and sell when everybody else is buying. And hold that real estate long term, and good things will happen to you.
Exactly. And on top of that, it's, you have to understand we're in kind of a unique position where the Fed is constantly raising the Fed funds rate to get inflation under control. And the data shows that at the end of this, when they start to get it under control, who knows how long that'll be, them and their infinite wisdom seems to always be playing catch up. But beside the point, when that does get under control, eventually interest rates should come back down. That's what the data suggests. So if you follow history, then that means right now is an opportunity where you could get a home significantly at a reduced price. And you can't change the price that you buy the home at. That's fixed. But you can change the interest rate through a refinance in later years. So by doing that, the opportunity to lower your payment is always going to be there. Once interest rates come back down, I will almost guarantee, nothing's guaranteed, but I would assume, if they came back, let's just say they came down into the mid fours, mid to high fours, which is what a lot of people are thinking that's where they're going to end up settling. You can imagine how many people are going to jump back into the market to purchase, because now interest rates are a lot more affordable and they're able to buy more house. Now we're almost back to square one where people are competing with multiple offers, because we still have an inventory problem. Right now, we're not really seeing it, I would think, as much because interest rates are higher and things are sitting. But you wait, those interest rates come back down, and that opportunity that you had to get things at a lower price or seller paid closing costs can go away just as fast as it came.
Yep. You marry the home, date the rate.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And I think also, and you're not really as much a part of the seller financing world, but that's another avenue that we're really going to coach and teach on at Keller Williams at a high level, especially for land. There's so much opportunity for sellers out there that have land free and clear that are liquidating, and those that don't. So we'll be talking about simultaneous closings with creating mortgages and selling those mortgages at closing. Now, what's cool about what you do, and I bring that up even though you're not directly You know, it's not something you do as a mortgage broker. What I love about what you guys do is you come from a place of integrity, and you will tell someone what their best deal is. You know, I know that because I've worked with you long enough, and I've had enough clients go to you for advice. And sometimes you'll say, hey, well, you're probably better off to do a home equity line of credit on your home in Seattle and then buy that lot with that, because rather than get a land loan. I mean, you'll tell people the truth. And I think that's an abundant mindset in business. And I admire that about people in general, but you and Sharon and your team, you know, in addition to being confidential and in addition to being consultants and telling you, you know, working a plan, they'll also tell you if their plan isn't the best one or their product's not the best one for you. So that says a lot about you guys as well.
No, I appreciate that. And it makes it nice when people know they can come to us and trust us as advisors to give them the best options, whether that's not a loan that I provide and I know someone and have a connection that I would, you know, recommend them to. It makes a big difference, and people, you know, that goes a long way with people and trust, especially when they're making such big financial decisions. When you turn around and say, you know what, I would do this and that has nothing to do with me, I think people can tell that you're looking out for their best interests and you're not trying to just score another deal constantly.
Yeah, instant gratification is a shallow place to live.
Exactly.
You know, and I see we got about a minute left in the segment, maybe half a minute left. My producer JP is telling me. I just wanted to say, you know, that I acknowledge you guys and I'm grateful for what you do. And I know as we move through the shift, we're pushing 90 agents and climbing. You know, we're really doubling down on fundamentals and education and training and communication and really having set expectations for people. All of these things in business are there, but they're very important in the shift to go get your best deal as a consumer or go get your unfair share of the market as a business person. And helping people is the foundation of all that. So thanks again, Michael. Have a great time. Take care. Thanks for tuning in one more time.
It's a brand new day just came my way.